Topic of single mothers. This is how I feel on the subject. If you are a single mother, your husband got up and left you, and now you're single. If you're not married and you have a child, you had it out of wedlock. You are a wedlock female. Your children, they're bastards. It's in the Bible. It is what it is. Let's stop trying to call it one thing and label it something else. LeBron James, good player. Will Smith, great actor. Dwayne Wade, another good player. But why would we want to have all these guys be so great and have so many of us that fall apart from their status quo? Wouldn't it be better for us to say, as black people, minority people, brown-skinned people, mixed heritage people, people from slavery descent, whatever you want to title the brown skin, kinky hair? Well, yeah, we might not be a race of Obamas, but we have a lot of managers, supervisors. We have a lot of entrepreneurs amongst us. The only thing we entrepreneur in is going to jail. If you look at how many single mothers raise these children, the children sit back, get caught into a system, the system sends them to jail, and then they're caught up in a cycle, and we're the dominant ones there. And it's coming from having single parent houses. But I think the term should be out of wedlock children, because when you have a male in the house, a real male who knows how to sit there and handle a situation, he will straighten that boy out so he doesn't have the foolishness. It says even in the Bible, the heart of a boy has foolishness, with the rod of discipline will straighten him good. I'm not necessarily condoning or going against or saying I'm for abuse, but there is something about having discipline, and males are usually the ones that give the discipline to the children. I want to address the thing with that one lady. I'm not even going to say her name. I already did 3 videos. The 4th video I didn't really release, but she sat back and they were having an adult conversation. She had her child get into the conversation, and Tom mistaking that child for being younger, and she was at the age where she was changing, and she acknowledged her breasts. Now, this is where the male's view and the female view differs, but let's stick to it one thing. If my son, I don't have one, but if my son was to sit there and acknowledge you, Miss Leo, or Mrs. Leo, Ms. Leo, and he grabbed on his crotch, you're going to say, "Excuse me, little boy," regardless if he's going through their age. Yeah, he might be having some pubes down there, but it's still an inappropriate gesture when talking to an adult. So that right there is where she dropped the bomb. The second time she dropped the bomb was, why is that child addressing an adult male, an adult man? We're having an adult conversation. I don't understand the logic in that right there. Oh, she wants to liberate it? Come on now. This is not China. This is not Russia. This is not Nazi Germany. Liberate her from what? What is she being oppressed from? All the sexuality that is out there? Calling the girl a slut in training. Well, it's a little tough right there, but if I wore a fireman's outfit and someone came to get me, said, "Excuse me, sir," and I'm like, "Yes, there's a fire over there," and I go, "I'm not a fireman." So, "Well, why are you dressed like one?" So now if this female is 16 and she's dressing and she's wearing the clothes that a slut, a whore, a prostitute is wearing, she is, I'm not saying asking for anything, but she is inviting those people who are looking for that thing. If you are a doctor and you dressed up like a doctor, people who are sick are looking for a doctor. So that logic would go with everything. So now if you are a female and you're wearing slutty clothes or clothes that are just a little bit degrading, well, is that a form of training? Well, I mean, you can deny it all you want, but I wouldn't let my daughter wear slutty clothes like that. The whole thing with the whole beastie things, the intro, he didn't make that video. Those girls put those video up there. That has nothing to do with that man. That has to do with those females who wanted to act like dudes and sit back and upload it to World Star Hip Hop. Promoting World Star Hip Hop. Anytime you say the name of anything, it's a form of promotion. That right there is that. Contradiction. In the Bible itself, it clearly says an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a life for a life. What basically means, in layman terms, if you take from me, I have the right to take from you. But then in the New Testament, same God, he says return evil to no one. So that right there even shows you contradiction. But that also shows you there's a time and a place for certain things. Next thing I just want to bring to your attention is that I've looked at all your videos and everything else. I got a couple of them up here. If you take all the time you've done talking about this one man, my calculations came to 20 minutes and 23 seconds. If you take the video you made towards me, your total time of talking about Tommysotomayor is 28 minutes and 11 seconds. That's a lot of time talking about a man you really dislike. And just a few clips I just want to comment on of yours. This one.
Off. The Tommyriders are the most. They are the most brainless people ever. Tommy has said more than one time that the only reason why he even does videos is because he gets paid.
Okay, it doesn't matter why he does videos. Does it really honestly matter? If he feeds his family off the YouTube videos, does it matter? He's still sitting there dropping points. And in one of your other videos, you said all he does is sit back and bash black women. But right here, he's talking about incest. He's talking about police harassing young black boys. He's talking about, is marriage still important in today's world? Should a man ever hit a woman? Children refusing to snitch on his own murderer. And, I mean, he just keeps going on and on and on. Sexual predators. Women can be them as well. You know, Obama. So you can't really say the man is only limited to sitting back and glorifying black females. But again, you are limiting every single thing he's saying, and you're forcing yourself into a category which does not exist. If you don't fit this status quo, why would you sit back and keep arguing against it? And this right here is the man in his own words. This is his man in his own words. I want to play this little tip right here.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Tommysotomayor. Don't read. If I'm putting it in your face, I'd understand why you find it offensive. If you're following me, if you're on my fan page, if you subscribe to my channels, don't try to tell me how not to speak. Don't try to tell me to write in some, most. I don't have to use the fucking words you want me to use. It's my blog, not yours. I don't tell you what the fuck to post. Today I posted something about Nikki Sixx, Motley Crue bass player. Spoke bad about white folks. Roseanne Barr retweeted it. Kathy Ireland retweeted it. So many white...
Okay. You can go to his page and see the rest of it. But he clearly is telling you he's not talking about all, so why would you sit back and think that all, again, just forcing yourself into a category that you don't fit into?
You fools are sitting here thinking that, oh, this brother is about the brotherhood. He's not.
Well, I mean, the brotherhood. Who would he be referring to? The guy who sags his pants, or the guy who got himself a college education, who probably went through the same thing he did? Or maybe he's talking to the younger man in his 20s who's like, damn, I can't get a girl. Maybe I should start sagging my pants and carrying a ratchet around. A ratchet is a burner is a gun. Maybe he's trying to address these guys before they go down a system of destruction. Maybe it's not for a black female to hear what he has to say. And maybe the black female is not you.
I mean, you really don't make any sense to me. And my biggest question of all is, you asked what is he doing for his community? But
well, you know, Tommy has an organization where he does donate money. So he is doing something.
you display all black women as being nothing at all.
Again, selective. The man never said all. That would be including his mother, his grandmother, and his daughter. And I know for a fact he would not include them in the conversation that he has. Come on now, you cannot have selective hearing.
But when I look on all these white pages, you're the most talked about person ever. Not even just black women. On any of these given pages, you are talked about because they think you're nothing but a nigger and a monkey. All you're doing with your little shit show is being a monkey on display for these white people.
So the fact that he calls the black females out, again, I said black females, but we're talking about the GED, the EBT, the Section 8, the I have 4 or 5 different baby daddies. If he's calling out that negative behavior, what's wrong with it? The only way you can sit there and rectify a situation is first admitting that there is a problem. There is a problem. Blacks are the biggest consumers out of all minorities. The Arab comes over here, he opens up a chicken fish joint. The Chinese come over here, he opens up a Chinese spot. We have all of this money to go support their lifestyles, but yet we don't take this same exact money and put it in our own stuff. Up in New York, the down thing is to have a Louis bag. Louis bags are like $1,000+. Like, really? To just carry your shit in and you don't even have a decent place to live and you want to have a Louis Vuitton bag? I mean, come on now. If anything, you need to applaud this man for sitting there and having the courage to sit back and say what he has to say. But, again, you just want to tear this thing down. You want to tear what he's doing. You want to tear his message. It's like you hate the messenger. No, you hate the message. And it doesn't matter who's saying it. There is truth in this. Maybe his delivery is not the best. Maybe it could be a little bit more polished. But at the end of the day, he drives home the point. There is a problem. So lastly, that right there is what I have to say on this whole subject. I'm done. And if you want to reply back, so be it. I said my piece on this. But I just think you need to open your eyes and see that Tommysotomayor is not bashing all females. He's talking about the ghetto hood rats. And if you're not a ghetto hood rat and you don't have none of those behaviors, how can you defend those females? And if we're talking about Serena Williams and all that other stuff, okay, there's a little bit of contradiction. Got you. But you know what? There's going to be a little bit of contradiction in everybody. I mean, I think it's impossible for you not to have any sort of contradiction. The world is about polarity. You have day, you have night. You have evening, you have morning. You have male, you have female. Positive, negative, up, down, black, white, color, colorless. It's about polarity. Pain, pleasure. Good, bad. God, devil. It's all about polarity. You know. And I'm done on this. Just leave you with that one last thought. If the man is not talking to you directly, and he's not talking about you directly, what is the real problem? Because I'm pretty much sure Tommysotomayor didn't go to your location where you live, put a gun to your head and said, watch my videos.